Okay, so we're gonna start with a tomato concasse, which is very easy to do. We score the back of the tomato, like so. Just makes it easier to peel. Okay, so we have a pot of boiling water. Tomatoes go in for about 30 seconds to a minute. Then we have an ice water bath, and the tomatoes will just rest in there while we prepare the rest of the mise en place. Okay, so our basic mirepoix is a brunoise shallot, some garlic, some thyme, and parsley. So here's my new knife. It's really nice. It goes through product very quickly. It takes a little getting used to in terms of the grip, but once you get used to it, it's very easy to use. Here we're just pounding through some garlic, and garlic's going to be a fine mince. Here we're just stripping out some thyme leaves. I didn't use that much thyme, just maybe half of what I had on the table. And here we're going to peel our tomatoes. We're going to core them. And a concasse is just diced tomato with no seeds and no skin. Alright, so we're gonna halve, then quarter, and then cut into eighths. Okay, you're just removing the seeds, and you're left with these tomato petals. No seed, no skin. Now, notice on the back cut, the swiping cut, my hands are nowhere near that knife edge. Anyway, just dice them down, and that's all there is to it. This might seem like a lot of concasse, but there's a lot of mussels here, as you'll see. Alright, so while I'm plucking the leaves off these parsley, just a quick note about the type of mussels you should buy. You should, if you can, buy farm-raised Prince Edward Island Sound mussels. They're very consistent, they're very clean, they have good flavor, and if anyone tells you that you should buy wild harvested or, God forbid, go scrape mussels down yourself, don't listen to them. That's stupid. Alright? I want something very quick, very consistent. I don't want to be scraping barnacles off shells and any of that hipster nonsense. So, Prince Edward Island Sound. Anyway, the parsley we're washed and we're just rolling up in paper towels. So here we have a hot pan. And I'm using beer. That's a Japanese beer. I actually prefer a mild, neutral beer to any kind of white wine when it comes to mussels. Alright, so once that comes to a boil, the mussels go in, and they're done as soon as they open. And because these are, well, there's my uncle, guest appearance. That pot he just put on the range has about 2 bushels of crabs in it. And Yep. Anyway, the mussels are done. They should all open at the same time because these farm raised mussels are uniform in size. Yeah, everyone in this family cooks, so here I have my uncle sharing the kitchen, just gonna lead to a little bit of chaos. Anyway, once the mussels are done, we strain them out, keep them warm in a large bowl or another pot. Okay, so now we're going to use a separate pan and start sweating down our mirepoix, just a touch of olive oil, and you don't want any color. So this takes about 2 minutes, and you're moving the pan and you're moving the mirepoix in the pan just until the shallots become translucent. Alright, so once that's achieved, we just strain the mussel juice into that pot. And I'm actually going to reduce using the pot I cooked the mussels in because the small pot is going to take forever. And as you will see in a moment, um, it's not going to contain the rapid boil. And here we go. Unbelievable. I really blame my uncle on this one. As you can see, the rest of the kitchen is in quite a state. So, a little flustered. Anyway, liquid back into the larger pot, and we're going to reduce from here. Now notice I've added no salt. Alright, there's salt in the mussel juices, and here we're reducing until the seasoning is at the correct level. So we're tasting while the stock is reducing, and once it hits that perfect seasoning level, it's done. Alright, so this is less about consistency of the sauce than it is about the seasoning. So here we're tasting again. See my uncle's Iron Chef knife skills in the background. Alright, now I'm just taking the pot off the heat, swirling it so I can see what kind of consistency we're at. Anyway, the salt level is pretty much perfect. So now we're going to take the pot off the heat and add our tomato concasse. You can bring it back to a very slight simmer. At this point, you don't want the sauce to boil. Okay, next up, we're going to mount with just a very small amount of cold, unsalted butter. And the way you finish sauces with butter, you don't want to stir it. Alright, you want to just swirl it in. So here's what I'm doing. It takes about 30 seconds or so. Alright, once the butter has emulsified into the sauce, we take it off the heat and we're ready to plate. Okay, so last second we're gonna slice through the parsley. Okay, now this is a lot of parsley, so half of it goes into the sauce and the other half will garnish on top. Alright, so you want some kind of large serving bowl because that's quite a bit of sauce. Anyway, mussels in. And you see they're nice and warm. And then you just pour the sauce. Okay, well, I'm going to need some help with the stove. Alright, so you pour the sauce over the mussels. Do your best to evenly distribute. And more parsley on top. And generally, you want to serve this with, a nice loaf of French bread or Italian bread. Use that to sop up all the juices on the bottom. Anyway, there you go. It's very cheap, it's very easy, and I hope you try it. Thank you.